Welcome, farewell fans. You know it's your boy MNG, and we have a special episode today. So we are very happy to participate in this year's edition of Podcast Time. For 1 week. More than 1,000 podcasts will highlight a charity of their choice, and today I have the pleasure of welcoming LPU, Love, Peace, and Unity, the creator, the CEO, the owner, Kamia. Kamia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Hey, we always want to do a good cause, and we definitely love to see great people doing great things in the community. And we're going to give you this spotlight to highlight everything that your organization is doing. I have heard that it is doing great things, and I'm so happy that you accepted the invitation to come on the show. So if you could just give my audience, because they don't know who you are, so if you could give my audience just a little bit about you, just a little bit of background of who you are, and we'll just evolve from there.
Okay. Well, my name is Kamia Ivory. I am 24 years old and I am from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
Um, I am currently in sales, a sales associate at a natural herb and skincare shop. I
Okay.
do that 6 days a week, servicing beautiful customers. And I also curate Love, Peace, and Unity
Okay.
monthly, a monthly open mic and curating future events as well. So yeah,
Okay.
that's a little bit
So,
about me.
so when I looked at the title, Love, Peace, and Unity, can you tell us what that means to you, and how did you even come up with such a welcoming title?
Absolutely. So when I was creating the community event, I it started off as a possibility on how I wanted the event or the organization to be. So love, peace, and unity is actually a possibility that I created for it. I wanted love to be in a space. I wanted peace to be created and unity to come together. So that was just a creation, and I was like, this is what I wanted to be. This is how I wanted to show up as, and that name just stuck so well with it. I was like, why don't I just call it Love, Peace, and Unity? And
Yeah.
so I just put that together as so, and LPU kind of becoming short and named. I hear people so much be like, yeah, we're going to LPU today, and da 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 da. So it's kind of becoming more of a ring. And so I was just thinking about that the other day. That's so funny that I was like, people just say LPU, like, yeah, we got to go to LPU this month, or what happened to LPU? So that's how that was created.
Okay, that's what's up. I love that. Love, peace, unity. I love the acronym LPU, and I'm glad that it's catching like a wildfire.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody is in the community, as you have stated, is coming along and saying and giving it their own spin on it. They're giving it their own abbreviation to say, hey, we about to go over to LPU and we about to go ahead and watch this event. So, can you tell us, what is the mission of the organization?
So our mission at Love, Peace, and Unity is to foster to the community through artistry and charity. So how that looks is coming together as a community to give back to the community. And through artistry, it brings a bond for people to come together because everybody connects through music, or if it's poetry, if it's rap, anything like that. It's just a great way of connections for others. And if we're also contributing to the community as well, it just brings it a unique twist to it. Because I've seen plenty open mics that come together and they do their thing. So the mission is to just foster to a community and build connection, inspire contribution, and to provide support to local and disadvantaged individuals.
Okay, local and disadvantaged individuals. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about the start of this organization. Now, how long has LPU been in existence, and when was y'all first start, and how did those first days, or the first year, kind of worked out for you.
Yeah. So we're coming up on the third year in March, actually.
Okay.
We're coming up our third anniversary. And the first year it was a little clumsy, a
Okay.
little bit. It was just kind of knowing that we wanted to bring people together, and that was it. And we knew we loved community, and we knew we wanted to be able to provide safe spaces for others and individuals. So it was, yeah, it was a little clumsy, and but it all came together. I feel like the community really built a foundation for it, because they will always come back and say, "Oh my God, this is the only place that I feel like I can share authentically," and different stuff like that. So, yeah, the first year it was powerful, and it was a journey. And so, coming out through the second year, we kind of had it figured out, but still learning. And on our third year, we're definitely getting it together. So, yeah,
So it sounds like you had some humble beginnings, right?
absolutely.
So, for anybody that's looking to create something and not understanding that you're going to have those humble beginnings, you're going to have, hiccups in the road, what were some of the hiccups that you had to overcome, just trying to start the events and then moving forward throughout the events to get to where you are now? Just to give people an idea of, if I was to start something like this, or I was to start my own thing, I know I'm going to go through some hiccups. What will be some ideas how I can overcome some of those hiccups?
So, well, some of the hiccups that we experienced was finding a good venue.
Mm, mm,
Not only does the event have a foundation where you hold the event, also can make or break an event.
right.
And um, venues was a hard one, and finding a very good host.
Hmm.
Um, we are grateful to have a good host that's been with us for the whole 3 years. So I'm grateful for that.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I feel like those were the only things. And of course, little things like artists probably getting sick, can't make it because we hold features and then everything like that. So overcoming those things is just sticking it out and trusting the process of everything, and having a good team to support you in these things. Because I have a great team that allows me to see things from a different perspective. I can see things from a great, like, oh, everything is great and everything is fine and dandy. And my team could point out things that doesn't work certain times. So, overcoming those things, just having a good support system and just riding it through.
And, I can honestly say the benefit of having a good team is essential to any organization. Okay.
Absolutely.
A friend of mine told me that we need to start looking at creating businesses that function when we're not there. And I know that in some sense, some of us are the type where we want to be so hands-on and so involved in the growing of the business and the making of the business and all the decisions of the business, and not empowering others to be able to come in, train them, and then see how well they do in that position and say, you know what, I can entrust you to go and do this, so now I can go and start something different, and then we
Right.
can go ahead and start branching out and expanding.
Yeah.
But a lot of people get so much control or
Hmm.
involvement in their business, especially in a few years, which is good. It's good to have that involvement in the first few years. But at some point in time, you want to get the right staff in there and say, you know what, I can start moving to be a little bit more hands off,
Right.
and and now I can start kind of go exploring some other avenues, or I can sit back and kind of enjoy the creation of my work. And
Hmm.
because a lot of entrepreneurs do want to move into other spaces, but it's kind of hard to move to other spaces because they don't have the right team in place. So I really commend the fact that you have a good team in place that more likely can function and run the place probably when you're not there. And you said this event happens once a month, correct?
Oh yeah.
What day does this happen on?
Every last Sunday of the month.
Now,
Yep.
why the last Sunday of the month? Like, out of all the days in a month, why the last Sunday?
That's actually a good question. I don't know why it's the last Sunday. It just the last Sunday, it just seemed like it worked. It seemed like it was a day that I know everybody's off usually on Sundays. Not every single person, but a lot of time people have free times on Sundays. And that's kind of only my off day. So,
Okay.
that's where the Sundays come in at.
Okay. Awesome. 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 I was wondering because when you said, yeah, it's one Sunday, I'm like, okay, well, what date is it on? He was like last Sunday, Hey, hey. So now the creation of this event. Okay. Now this event has been in place for 3 years, and you have went through your humble beginnings and everything. You had your stumbles and everything, but what made you wake up and say, you know what? I want to start an event for a community that is a safe space, that is open, that is welcoming, that is all of that, and a bag of sun chips,
Mhm.
so to
I
speak.
love sun chips.
Especially the garden salsa, boy. That Mark. Hey, hey. So when you're talking about putting together an event, creating the event, what was the mindset to put this event in place to say, you know what, this is something that I want to do, and let's start it. So what was the idea behind, hey, let's put this in place and get it started?
Well, I knew I wanted to create a community event, and I didn't know specifically how I wanted to create it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that I've been to a lot of open mics in the city of Detroit, and a lot of them don't feel very safe um,
Okay.
to share my authentic artistry, right? So I was like, okay, but I did see how open mics brought community together. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
hmm. I'm like, let me see about creating my own open mic, and something a lot more safer for individuals to come on through and just feel free to just spill it all on a mic. And I was like, okay, I got the community aspect of coming together, but how do we still contribute, or how does it still like give back to the community in a sense? And I chose to have canned goods as a mission for the open mic. So it would be like, even though these people are coming together, they also are contributing to the community in a sense as well. And they just bring like a couple canned goods, or they bring a whole bunch of canned goods, but they come through with those canned goods for sure. So it was really just wanting to create a safe space for local artists so they can come together. And it was it was actually supposed to be cash donations were supposed to be the only thing, and I was going to collect all the cash donations and put together a big old community event to give back to disadvantaged mothers that can't, get diapers or wipes and everything. So I was going to just buy a whole bunch of diapers and wipes and just give it out. So the open mic is actually supposed to be like a fundraiser type of event.
Okay.
Um, and then I can't remember how I got away from that idea. I think it was just kind of feeling like, oh, I think this place that I was at previously, the venue, they said that we couldn't take cash donations. So I was like, oh, okay. So people can't pay at the door. So I was like, okay. So that's when I was like, what can we still give back to? And that's where the idea of the campus came in.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know, the can everybody. I don't know who doesn't have canned goods in their pantry.
That
Let's
part.
be honest. I done had canned goods in my pantry for like 3 years. I probably need to get thrown out somewhere. Switch you. If I go in there and try to find something, I'm gonna be like, this don't belong here no more. Like, I ain't did soup in I don't know how long, but I still got soup in the cabinet somewhere. I think it's still.
Right.
Who knows? It's vacuum. Okay, so now we know now we know where we started. Now the event itself, you said it was a community, so it sounds like this event is open to all poets, or is it curated by invitation only?
Oh, all poets.
Okay,
And people usually invite people too, but Everybody's welcome.
Okay, so everybody's welcome. Okay, so when you're talking, so let's just talk about the event itself, right? So at this event, it's open for all poets. What else is happening at the event that you're hosting once a month? Like, um, you said there's rappers, there's singers, there's poets. So what else is going on at this event outside of the poetry and the charitable donations?
What else is going on is connections. It's great as a networking environment as well.
Okay,
So I've noticed people come together and they, in an event, they're, performing, they're donating when they come in and everything like that. And then at the end of the show, after the hosts kind of tell everybody, all right, y'all, good, thank y'all for coming. Have a great night. People still standing around and they are talking, and I love seeing that because it's not only like an event that it was like, all right, I just came, I'm about to go. It's like I'm connecting with others,
hmm
I'm getting social medias, I'm doing this and everything like that, and everybody is speaking to each other like they knew each other since back in the day. Like, but it's also great for connections, and yeah, that's what else is going on in the background. And also it's at a bookstore as well. And so
okay,
this bookstore is called 27th Letter Books.
okay,
So it's a very, very nice bookstore right before Midtown, and it is, you are in awe when you walk in because it's so colorful, and it just has lines up of books that you've seen before or of local publishers. So they carry all type of books. And so people actually purchase books also during the show.
okay,
We have a food vendor, Divine Healing Food.
okay.
She's a vegan food. Yes, vegan food vendor. She has really great, great cuisines. Every time she's there, I'm taking some home. Okay.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so just we always try to encourage current different vendors to come so we can just circulate, just a dollar between the communities. And then also we curate and put together raffles. So people um put money towards a ticket, and we have raffle baskets that this wonderful lady named Miss Vanessa puts together. There are some really great baskets, let me tell y'all.
Okay.
It looks good. Yeah, so we do the raffles at the end of the show. So it gives people opportunity to just have some like anticipation towards the end, like, oh, we're gonna win, everything like that. So just try to keep it fun. Not only seeing performances, but also, yeah.
Okay, so you got this. So you got poets and rappers and singers coming to a space where they sell books. Where obviously you can get poetry books there, you can get novels there, you can get teen books there. That seems like a very fitting place to have a poetry venue. A poetry event. I have been to poetry events, and I do agree with you. They don't feel safe. You kind of read the crowd to determine what you're going to share. And farewell fans, before y'all try to come at me and say that I didn't tell y'all this, I didn't. I used to write poetry. I don't really write too much anymore. But I've been in the poetry space, and I've known some poets from that time. Haven't seen them in a long time, but from the time that I did go, there were places where you felt safe, where you could share your stuff. But then there was places that you had to read the room before you share something because it can fall flat. So
Hmm.
you just didn't go in there and just read anything. Now I remember I was at a place where we were reading poetry, and it's like, well, are you going to read? And I'm like, well, I got to see what the crowd look like, because you can't just read anything. So I relate to the idea of having to be in a place where it's just safe to share whatever
Hmm.
you're going through. If you have a poem that is very touching and emotional, you want to share it, it's okay to be able to share in a space where there's no judgment and there's no backlash, and it moves the crowd. And that's
Hmm.
kind of a space that I understand that people do look for, and that some people kind of walk away from spaces because they don't feel like it has that same kind of grounding and openness as what you're saying for your organization.
Right. Okay. Well, Mr. John Jay, hopefully we can have you come on out to the open mic and spit a few of your old poems.
Well, I don't know about all that,
So you
but
gotta blow the dust off the poetry papers.
I don't know about all that. But I also like the fact that y'all have vendors there. I was rarely have I been at a location that they actually had vendors there. Unless it was an actual building that they were renting out, the space that they was out of, that they were selling stuff. But to have vendors there to come in, I know the one that you said was Divine Healing, and then the raffle baskets, and then which is more money for the organization that you provide the charitable donations to, as
Hmm.
well as having in the bookstore, like all of that. If you pull all that together, this is a well coordinated event. It's kind of difficult to coordinate all of those activities to happen in one location, let alone 8 months. So you have to have people that's dedicated, that are consistent, and can continually come along time and time and time again, right?
Hmm.
So so with that being said, okay, let's talk about the organization that you contribute to. We found out about your organization to start, where you came from, how it got started, and everything. Now let's talk about, because this is a fundraiser, a once a month fundraiser, which is very impressive, that people are coming to a known fundraiser, to speak their mind, feel comfortable, and have a safe space. Can you know how did the organization you decided to partner with, from our conversations, is Gleaners, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so tell me, or give the audience an idea of, why did you choose Gleaners? I mean, there's a lot of other organizations out there that you could be contributing to, and I know you kind of started with um, the one something for underprivileged mothers. So, but why did you choose Gleaners?
Well, I remember growing up and being at school, and I always seen like a box in the front of the classroom. It was a Gleaners box. And this was when I was in like grade school. I was young and
Okay.
still kind of young, but and so I remember always just seeing this box, and it was always there for donations. So we used to bring donations, canned goods or non-perishable foods, and it was just always there as an option to do so. And so I remember always seeing that being a way to contribute to food if you wanted, or like contribute food if you wanted to.
Mhm.
So coming into this curation of this event, I did a little more digging into looking about how I could actually connect and partner with Gleaners on how to contribute the canned goods, like because we take canned goods and we're like we need somewhere to take them to. So I reached out to this one lady. Her name was Katie. She was very, very helpful. And she was like, yeah, you could just bring it on to the food bank. She was like, well, provide you with boxes. We provide you with canisters. And so she was really nice. I've yet to meet Katie, okay? I've talked to Katie. She's brought the canisters to the house, but I'll be at work and my mom will pick it, like get it and everything. I still have yet to meet Katie, but she was very helpful for just getting my feet on the ground to partner with Gleaners. So they their mission to provide resources for the hunger and to just make sure the world is not hungry. It is just so powerful. So I could have not thought of any other great organizations to partner with.
You know
So
that that's
yeah.
that's amazing. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the first time that I've heard of Gleaners. When I was in school, I don't remember having those boxes where we had to donate stuff to Gleaners. It was more so like one of them paper boxes, the little Xerox paper boxes. They're like, you want to donate, just put it in here. Well, where is it going? Just put it in here. And I think the teachers was hungry. They didn't have no food because they was getting paid. That's what I think was going on. But okay, so you partner with Gleaners. and you've been having this relationship with him. You might as well just invite Katie out to the show and be like, Katie, you got this invitation to come to the show. We ain't never met, but just come on to the show, Katie. It is quite all right. But okay, so Gleaners sounds like a really big organization. Now, what specific needs of Gleaners does the event help address? Now, I know you had talked about hunger, and you had talked about the world. So, what is what? I guess my question is, or this is my question: what is Gleaners doing? What? How many services is Gleaners actually providing?
Oh, so man, they actually they distribute about like 27,000 meals a month.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Now,
and
is that just Detroit, or is that across the nation?
that is between like 21 countries.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, 27,000 meals a month. I believe that I know 48 million meals in 2023 was distributed
Okay. Okay.
between like amongst 21 countries. So Gleaners been putting in that work and they have been really living up to their mission to, yeah.
So what it sounds like is that your organization, from what is contributing to such a bigger cause.
Oh yeah.
27,000, you know, on a national level may not seem like a lot, but when you compare that number to a lot of underprivileged families or families that are in poverty that are in need, you may have people that make enough money, that make enough money not to, well, make too much money to not be on aid, but not make enough money to afford the groceries that we're currently experiencing prices due to inflation, right?
Hmm.
So now they have a place, or they have a place to turn to be able to go and get resources in order to be able to put food on the table, where they put it on the table for themselves, or they put it on the table for their family.
Hmm.
Gleaners is providing a resource, a substance, and a means to provide for families. Is That's what I'm
Oh yeah.
hearing.
Oh
And
yeah. They bring, you can donate to their like large food bank and then they send them off and like give them to smaller food banks that like soup kitchens and different stuff like that. So they are continuously contributing and it is just amazing because you don't really know what's ever going on in the background. I remember going to soup kitchens like, and my mom used to take us there when we were younger and they used to have the best peanut butter jelly sandwiches. It was so good. And so like it was over there and it was actually in the city, like in Detroit it can get a little gritty, so it was right in the hood. You can go to the soup kitchen, you can eat there, and then you can go to the like small food bank and get a bag of food and you get all the necessities and different things that you need. And so it was just really powerful, like not even knowing that when I was younger, just kind of like going with it, but remembering it and seeing like, wow, okay, like I'm eating and I'm grateful to be eating, but now I'm kind of like, as I'm older, I'm like, wow, they were really giving free food. Like, and they would do it every Tuesday. I remember it was really nice. So I'm not sure if they connect specifically with Gleaners, but I do know that is always giving out, you know, donations and those canned goods and whatever food donations they get to smaller food banks.
so now that you mentioned the extra, something had done. I mean, I had did some charity work for my job, where we had to prepare meals for the elderly, um, around Thanksgiving. And at another job, I also did some charity work, where we had to go down to, I forget the name of the location, but you had to go down there and help the homeless, kind of organize a line, and either you could help cook in the back, you can help sort through clothes and comforters and everything, or you can help organizing who takes a shower and everything like that. And I can say that knowing when you're riding down the street or you're riding down through downtown, you don't pay as much attention to those that are homeless or underprivileged as you do to when you go and you serve. And
Hmm.
it really puts you in the mindset of um, being very humble from where you came, but also being able to provide and give and be of service, to the
Mm.
individuals to be able to help them. And it's very rewarding. And, for anybody that out there that has the opportunity, if your job is doing charitable work or have, a walk of some kind, I would say go and do it because you never know what somebody else is going through on their side of, in their world, in their life. You know.
Hmm.
Now, my next question to you is: are there any volunteering opportunities that's tied to this event or your organization? Are you taking on additional volunteers?
Oh
Or
yeah.
is something that you're kind of putting off for the future?
No, most definitely. So we don't need too many volunteers when it comes to the open mic. We are open to it, absolutely. And also, for future events that we plan on curating, we're definitely looking to just anyone that wanna just be of service for the community. We are always looking for volunteers, and so it doesn't have to wait for the future, but now too. So yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and for all the farewell fans out there, I'm sure they want to know, where are you seeing this organization going? Are you looking to make it bigger? Are you looking to expand, open up other venues on other days outside of the last Sunday? where do you plan on taking this organization?
Ah, that is such a great question. And these questions or those type of questions, they kind of like, I don't want to say they scare me, but they really make me nervous for how big I can see it being.
Okay.
And I just, I don't see LPU just being an open mic. LPU, that will be one of the things that it will, one of the ways it contribute to the community. LPU is going to have its own building and just providing and being like hugely having his hand in the community continuously. You
Mm,
know, once a month we put together this event, but it will be multiple events that happen annually. It will be a building that will get curated and always have resources for, you know, hungry people or people that don't have like necessities or able to shower, different things like that. I really got present to, um, you know, people that are homeless not having place to shower. I
mm,
mean,
mm.
that's a very obvious thing, but you don't really think about those things. It wasn't until I was approached by this one lady at my mom's job. She do work as a social worker. So you have different walks of life come through and out there all the time. And this lady, she asked me if I would buy a pack of Kool-Aid for like 50 cent or 25 cent. And I had quarters like all in my fanny pack. So I just gave her the fanny, like the quarters, and I just told her, I don't need the Kool-Aid. I could just take the quarters. And so she was like, okay, thank you. And so I'm walking away. She yells back and she's like, do you have a house? Like, do you stay at a house or anything? I'm like, well, I stay with my mom. And she was like, okay, okay. She's like, well, could I take a shower at your house? And I was kind of taken back. She was like, I haven't taken a shower in so long and everything like that. I'm like, well, I don't know how my mama gonna respond to this, but
Right.
I'm like, I do have resources. I know the places that people could go to actually take showers and everything like that. So I kind of gave her those resources and gave her a little more change, and then departed from her. But that interaction happened probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I still remember it and I still think about it and I still think like, man, that was a very random question that I just never thought of. And so I just really want to be of service to people that that just don't have the necessities or have the family to, just contribute to them in their time of need.
Understandable. That's understandable. Well, Kamia, thank you for coming on to the show and talking about your organization. And we're going to put this out there, and we want everybody to know that this young lady is on the right track to having a nice big organization, and she's going to need all the supporters that she can. So if you are looking to donate, it's the last Sunday of the month at 27th and Letter, right?
Yep, 27 Letter Books. It's over there on Michigan Ave in Detroit.
Okay, on Michigan Avenue, Detroit. Make sure you stop by. Make sure you do those donations last Sunday of the month. It's anywhere they can also find your do you have a website, a social media, anything that they can just go and like follow or anything?
Oh yeah, so our Instagram page is lpu.detroit. L as in love, P as in peace, U as in unity, Detroit.
Okay, so make sure you go out there and you follow that. And that wraps up this special episode as part of Podcast On. If you enjoyed it, feel free to visit www.podcaston.org. That's podcaston.org to discover hundreds of the associations through the voices and talents of amazing podcasters. We'll catch you on the next go around. Peace.